Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Of course, the president is still doing his distraction tour to get you to not pay attention to the fact that he had a close relationship with Jeffrey Epstein that spanned several decades, and nobody wants you to talk about that or mention that, because if you mention that, then it might force you to make a decision about whether or not you care about children. And Trump doesn't want you to have to make decisions like that. He wants you to choose him over everything. So, hey, Kimberly, good morning, beautiful. Yeah, he wants you to choose him over everything. So, again, now I can say yesterday I saw a conversation amongst MAGA. Well, no. Many of them were cheering on what was happening. Yeah, that's what it looks like, One Love. That's what it's... I'm telling y'all, to me, hey, Jess, good morning, beautiful. The fact that so many people are fighting so hard to protect everything around this lets you know that it's more here than we realize that's here. This thing is much bigger than what we know. And too many people are working too hard to stop us from knowing. Hey, Stacy, good morning, beautiful. They're working too hard to stop us from knowing. And you have to ask yourself why. The president sent the Justice Department over there. They've met with Ghislaine Maxwell twice. Well, guess what? The statute of limitations has already expired. So even if she did tell him something, it's nothing the Justice Department can do. She's already sentenced to 20 years. So there's no benefit in talking to her. A person like that, you don't offer a pardon to, right? Even if you could get information. So you have to wonder why Trump is working so hard to protect Ghislaine Maxwell. Didn't he tell Trumpers, didn't he tell MAGA that he was going to expose everything? He lied. Now, you can keep moving the goalposts if you want to. But the fact of the matter is, until you deal with the fact that Trump repeatedly lies to you, you put yourself in a position to be manipulated. You put yourself in a position to be taken advantage of. Why? For one simple reason, because you won't hold them accountable. We know Republican elected officials won't, because they don't have a backbone. So if you're still voting Republican, I'm assuming you like voting for people with no backbone. Hey, Mrs. Thompson, good morning. Hey, Nessa Bessa, good morning. I had a whole situation this morning with ants. So that's why I was late this morning. Chill. I was late this morning dealing with ants. It is the season of the ants. The season of the ants. Hey, Lori, good morning. Hey, Kim, good morning, gorgeous. Hey, Roxy. I like that. I like how you spelled that. But we got to pay attention to what is happening. Essentially, the rich and powerful want us to ignore. They want us to ignore those who violate the most vulnerable. Pay attention. They want us to act like we don't see that. You're supposed to just keep operating like that's just normal. No, I don't know about y'all, but in no circles do I hang in is any of that shit normal. None of that shit normal. And the circles I hang in, it's not normal to marry somebody 30 years younger than you or older than you. That's not normal in the circles that I'm in. Hey, bye, good morning. No, it doesn't take the rich to create jobs. It actually takes working class people. We create jobs. You know how I know? You got 10 followers. You're working class. You're not rich. You've been blocked. I could just tell. If you were rich, you wouldn't need to you could pay for followers if you had money. This is how come I know you're working class, right along with the rest of us. Hey, Living Life. So when you say stuff like that, we create jobs. Stop lying to yourselves. Here y'all go putting rich people up on pedestals again. Rich people create jobs. No, they don't. We create jobs. Rich people create businesses. We create jobs. Because if we don't buy things, if we don't buy services, if we don't buy goods, they don't hire. Right? Okay. I'm like, stop lying to yourselves. Stop lying to yourselves. Good morning, user Julio and Living Life. Good morning. You says pour salt on the ants in 3 days and they should be gone. Well, they were all in my kitchen. I couldn't wait 3 days, Miss Thompson. So this morning I just put some dishwashing liquid and some bleach to get rid of the ones I saw. And so I cleaned up. Somebody dropped some peanut butter on my floor in the middle of the night in my house, but nobody will cop to it. So you know how that goes. Nobody will cop to it. So I went to Home Depot this morning and got some stuff. So I've been treating and everything. Hey, Queen. Good morning, Miss Sweet Pea. Yeah, I don't understand the worship of rich people. Folks got to stop doing that. Well, you know rich people look at y'all like y'all crazy. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? Hey, good morning, Storyteller and Ida. Good morning. Y'all know when y'all worship rich people like that, they look at you funny like, because rich people don't even worship rich people like that. Rich people don't even worship God like that. I'm going to say it again. Rich people don't even worship God like that. Y'all worship rich, some of y'all worship rich people like y'all worship God, which makes me wonder if you love God the way you say you do. It's impossible because you're worshiping somebody else and God said you can't have no false idols. That's what your God said. But yet you're worshiping rich people like false idols. And then you surprised that things aren't turning out the way you expected it to. Why would you expect rich people to care about you more than you care about yourself? I keep telling you, you want rich people to care more about your family and your kids than you do. Why would they? If you showed me you don't give a shit about your kids, why should I care about your kids? Yeah, there's no reason why I should either, right? There's no reason why I should. I love to send them packing and say nothing. I'm sorry, that shit makes me cackle on the inside. I literally, this is the laugh track to my life. It's like, chill. Not here, not ever, not never. Okay? Like, I just put up a video where I talk about how FEMA took $600 million of your money. And instead of helping you during a disaster, what did they do? What did they do? Oh, they gave it to states and cities for migrant camps. Yeah, we do migrant camps here. We're not focused on doing anything that's going to be helpful to anybody. Yes, $600 million in grants for states to build migrant detention facilities. Wake up. Wake up. I read a story this morning that one of the companies, Sea of Femades. Look, I messed that all up. Good morning, beautiful. They denied me after we sat with no power in GA heat for over a week. Wow. They denied you last year. No surprise. No surprise. Because again, y'all got to remember, you as voters, y'all decided that your government's not supposed to work for you anyway. Yeah, I saw Maryland got denied for FEMA. But see, Maryland ain't the only one that's going to get denied. Those red states going to get denied too because there ain't going to be enough money for it. There's not enough money. Listen, DHS is already running out of money. That's why they pulling money from other departments. This is why they're doing it. There's no money. So when disasters hit Florida, when they will, because they will, Kentucky, Kansas, Texas, Idaho, Iowa, when it hits all, ain't no money. All the money is going to do migrant camps. It's all for that. America, you exposed yourself. That's why I said Anybody who voted for Trump, if you're still kicking it with them, if I have no clue what I'm talking about, why are you here? Oh yeah, you're not anymore. You know how you know I know what I'm talking about? Because the bots keep showing up. The bots keep showing up. That's what happens. When you're telling on rich people, when you're talking about, remember Trump told you he would drain the swamp. Trump is the swamp. Trump is the swamp. Y'all gonna learn. Trump is the swamp. He is the swamp. Hey, we blocked your other account. You know this one gonna be blocked too. Oh, poor Tink Tink. They working so hard. Look at them. They working so hard. Look at RB working so hard. He's like, I worked all week to put up these chicken wings and watermelon to make her mad. But it didn't. Because what you didn't know is I love chicken and watermelon. Hey! They get so mad. They get so mad. Good morning. I'm hungry too now, Kimberly. They are so angry and still poor. That's the saddest part. You do all of that and you're still poor. That's the thing. Right, Vanilla? They thought they were so upset. You're right. America is back. It has all four of its teeth again. Yes. Make America not look like it doesn't have dental care again. I'm like, chill. Chill. I crack up because they cheer. Yay! Yay! They cheer. This is our guy. This is our guy. This is our guy. But he has all his teeth. Trump has all his teeth. The electorate, not so much. Somebody asked me, would I rather make fun? I'm not answering that question. I don't need to. I don't do DEI in here. Okay, no problem, Mrs. Thompson. Now I'll make sure to do that. Yeah, they so upset with me. I'm like, why y'all upset with me when I'm telling you how your president has announced $600 million in grants that was meant for FEMA, money that was meant for FEMA. He's rerouting it to states and cities to build detention centers. So your government can't give you free education, but it can build detention centers. Your government can't make sure you can eat, but it can build detention centers. Your government will deny you health insurance, but it can build detention centers. Oh, you're right. Concentration camps. Hola, hey, Monica. But see, America, y'all ain't want to deal with your dirty laundry for so long. You've been lying. Oh, racism's dead. We kept telling you it wasn't. Black folk kept telling everybody in America that racism wasn't dead. We deal with the shit every day. Every day there's some type of microaggression you might run into or whatever. You don't feed all of the shit, but you see the shit. You understand? You see it. So you know what it is. But so many people didn't believe fat meat was greasy. Now, well, looky. Everybody catching the work now. Wonder how that happened. We know how that happened. That happened because y'all not paying attention. Y'all get too comfortable. Y'all too busy wanting to assimilate into cultures instead of being who you are. Just because you immigrated to America doesn't mean that you got to pretend that you didn't come from somewhere else. Right. They can't pay teachers right, but they can give ICE $40,000 bonuses. What does Governor Huckabee? Oh, she gonna love grants. See, this is what y'all gotta understand. Conservatives are socialists too. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Conservatives are socialists too. The only difference is They want your money to go to only the shit that they want it to go to, and they don't want it to go to anything they don't want it to go to. That's the difference. Thank you so much, Lisa A. That's the difference. And conservatives don't like America. Contrary to their patriotic rhetoric and all that bullshit, it's just what it is, propaganda and rhetoric. Because everything that they do doesn't match up with what they say a lot of the times. You can't love your country and do what they do to it. It's impossible. You can't love your country and not want to educate its citizens. Wouldn't you want all your citizens to be the smartest citizens in the world? Hey, One Love, you have a great day too. Wouldn't you want that for your citizens? That's what I would want, because that's the real flex. Shit, my citizens are more educated than yours. We got the best healthcare in the world. You understand? That's the shit you brag on. We don't have no homelessness. Not because we lock up our homeless people and hide them, but because we put things in place to combat homelessness, so there's never a reason for you to live on the street. But we can't brag like that. That ain't the type of bragging we can do. Say it again, One Love. America's not the place to be anymore, y'all. And I know for many of you, it's going to take a while for you to come to terms with it. Real talk. You're going to have to grieve the loss of your country. And you're going to have to figure out if you want to stay here and fight to change it. And then my question becomes, why change it? If this is what people want, what did I tell y'all? My grandmama said the best way to show people what they want is to show them what they don't want. The best way to show people what they don't want is give them exactly what they ask for. Okay? So you just want a country that has no people of color? Cool. Okay. Somebody gonna have to be on the bottom of that hierarchy. Guess who it ain't? Guess who ain't gonna be on the top? You're right, B. Go back home. Go back to England. Kind of rich for for people who are literally conquerors to tell other people to go back home. You can't write the shit. You can't write this shit. You can't write it. Some of this stuff is so ridiculous. You would think it's satire, but it's not. It's just racism. It's just racism. You know? And most of them, what do I always say? Most of the people talking most of the shit ain't got the backs. They don't have the knees. They ain't got the ankles to do none of the fighting, none of the pushing back, none of the shit that they talking about. They need government to be their oppressor because they can't do it on their own. So they need systematic oppression to do it. So they talk a lot of shit, but they can't do nothing. They can't do nothing. They believe that immigrants, black folks, women are the why they're being held back. No, it's because you're mediocre as fuck. It's just that your mom and daddy didn't want to tell you because they were mediocre too. That's what it was. Oh, Trail, he has the files everywhere. You know if Trump has the files with his hair, you're going to see it. That is like the most epic, that's like a tsunami comb over. You know what I'm going to call it now? That is the Boxing Day comb over. The biggest comb over we've ever seen in our lives. Oh, you didn't notice the files? Come on, Purple Unicorn. There's no way he can hide them in there and you not see it. Come on. Come on. Y'all didn't see those Epstein files there? Y'all know why else would I put that there? Why else would I put that there? But I don't want y'all to lose sight of the fact that I didn't forget about Trump's swollen ass ankles and legs. I ain't forget about it. I may not talk about it every day, but I didn't forget about the fact that the White House is still not telling us the truth about the president's medical situation. Joe Biden never had swole legs like that. Obama never had legs like that. Bill Clinton never had legs like that. Jimmy Carter never had. Hell, George H.W. Bush and George Bush never had legs like that. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. I ain't never seen a... I saw the caddy cheat for him. Y'all surprised? Look at the legs and feet. Look at the legs and feet. Look at the legs and feet. It's no way. Of course he had a caddy cheat for him. It's not like he could... Listen, those legs and feet are so heavy. If he was walking too much on them greens, he was gonna sink in like it was like he was in quicksand. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Oh, it's straight quicksand, okay? Those legs and feet have had enough, okay? Enough. But I'm like, if y'all ain't looking at y'all country and how ridiculous your country is, they're even arresting and locking up American citizens because they look illegal. So then you got to ask yourself, what does an illegal look like? It was exposed that one of the guys that coordinates for ICE, he runs a white supremacist X account. They not hiding no more. Hide for what? They have the blessing of the government. They have the blessing of the government. You're right, Ed. Nothing says manhood like a man that gets up and cheers for another man in the morning. Yeah, all the ladies are lining up for that one. The fuck is going on? Like I said, there's a whole lot of conversations that need to be had about what's happening to men in America. Whoa. Whoa. Like I said, it's a lot of moving pieces. But the adoration and the love affair that men have with each other, all the while claiming they're heterosexual, is fucking weird. Okay? That shit weird. That shit is fucking weird. I gotta look at you funny and go, you say you like women. Why you keep talking about men all the time? Because I know women are going to look at you weird. Women are going to look at you and go, why are you always talking about guys? Chill. Say it again, Kazi. Every time a Republican event comes to town, that damn Grindr app gets shut down. Must be a coinky dink, huh? I crack up because they want to be so smart, but hey, Veronica. Hey, Tim, you know what we should talk about? Why Trump is listening to a liberal judge all of a sudden. I thought he don't listen to them. Get out. Bye. I just wanted you to hear that before I booted your ass. Remember how MAGA told y'all Trump don't have to listen to nobody, but all of a sudden it's a liberal, it's this fictional that doesn't exist judge that's stopping Trump from releasing the list. I thought Trump don't listen. He don't listen to judges. So is Trump, is he a punk? Is he a punk or no? Is he a punk or no? Is Daddy weak or no? Is Paw weak or no? Exactly. Oh, to watch them crash out is such a beautiful thing. If y'all only knew how easy this shit was. Racism is expensive. And I am going to enjoy watching Kentucky, Nebraska, Iowa, Idaho, all of them go bankrupt. Can I tell you how happy I am that China won't buy their fucking crops? Oh, hey, real one. I love that China won't buy shit from them. Good. Good. Don't buy that shit. Fuck them. Yup, they already broke as fuck. Oh, I know Trump is sicker than what they're telling the American people. You can tell by how he looks. He's gained so much weight. His ankles and legs are fucking huge. You know your feet are swollen and your legs are swollen when your dress shoes look like ankle boots. When your dress shoes look like ankle boots, there's a big problem happening. But see, you can lie, but you can't lie about reality that's happening with your body. You feel me? You can't lie. That's why I said it's going to be weekend at Bernie's at that fucking White House. Watch. It's going to be weekend at Bernie's at that White House. They will put this motherfucker on a stick if they have to. And have somebody else speaking. Or just have them sitting there with sunglasses on, just sitting there. Just sitting there. Watch. I'm telling you. Because see, this is what they do know. J.D. Vance ain't got the power nor the pull to get everybody to follow behind him. Nah. Trump does. J.D. Vance don't. That's the difference. That's the difference. Oh yeah, it's going to be weekend at Bernie's. Watch. Watch. It's going to be weekend at Bernie's. For sure. Y'all, the bots are so funny. I was just reading something. Yeah, they could be already doing that. But my point is, y'all need to pay attention, man. Your government is participating in a huge cover-up. I mean, huge cover-up of moving people around the country. Y'all, what? Listen. Hey, bots, how y'all doing? Are you upset? Hey, let me show you something else. Look at that. That's Trump, and that's the GOP. They cuddle up with people who violate our most vulnerable. And they make excuses for it. Yeah, they sure do. The Republican Party and Donald Trump. They tell you that you shouldn't care about children, that your highest priority needs to be rich people. You didn't know that? Well, I just want y'all to know. I just want y'all to know, okay? Oh, I'm just telling the truth that Trump's in the Epstein files. I'll say it again so the people can hear it in the back. Trump's in the Epstein files. They heard me twice before I blocked them. Christianity, yeah, I would agree with you. Christianity is certainly some of that. Certainly some of that. And MAGA wants to come in and communicate and share what they want to say. No, that's DEI. We don't allow that here. Yeah. No DEI here. We only talk about the things we like to talk about here. Because that's the America that Donald Trump has created. Right? And that's the America that conservatives said they loved. So I'm trying to understand why y'all complaining. Why are you coming this live wanting to be heard and comment? Who cares? Why do you even care what I think anyway? If what I'm saying is untrue, why do you care? Could it be that it's true? Hey, Patty. So then my question is, why is Trump protecting Bill Clinton and half of Hollywood? Okay, I'm not going to wait for you to answer because I really don't care what you think. Bye, Patty. Bye. See, they don't want you to think about that part. If all up in the files, it's just Hollywood and Bill Clinton, why is Donald Trump fighting to protect that? Wouldn't he want you to know? So is Trump part of the Hollywood elite machine? Could it be? I I wonder. Chill. I see Joe Rogan say release the files, but they're conflicted, y'all. MAGA's conflicted right now. Say it again, Kazi. GOP don't really care about children. Now, when Hillary was running against Trump, they cared about that fake ass Pizzagate story. They were all over that shit. They were all over. What about the children? What about the children? Now, quiet. Now, quiet. And we know why. We don't have to wonder why. We don't have to wonder. We know why. Exactly. It was them all along. So not only are your children not safe with, right, that's what they love to say. Ain't that right, Kiara? What about Biden? They love to say that. That's always their thing. No. Don't mute Kiara. Kiara's fine. Don't block Kiara. Kiara's one of the people. Kiara's making a joke. I unblocked him. And unmuted him. Yeah. Kiara's fine. Don't boot Kiara. Kiara's okay. Kiara's making a joke. That's why we were saying it. It's kind of our running joke to say Biden. Yeah, but it's always somebody else. It's always somebody. But Trump talks about Obama because he in love with him. Y'all remember that song? I'm in love with a stripper. Instead, I'm in love with Obama. He got it. He got it. He got it. He got it. That's Trump every fucking night. Every fucking night. It's like he lay in the bed and he just look at the picture and he go, that's my boo. That's my boo. It's like somebody who they like you, but instead of saying they like you, they too chicken to say they like you, so they do bad things to you. It's like in grade school when the boys try to be mean to you, but you figure he being mean because he like you, but he don't know how to communicate that he like you. That's Donald Trump. That's Donald Trump. That's Donald Trump. Hold on, I'm writing something down. Yeah, so, yeah. Oh, there you go, Kiara. Okay, I was just looking for you. I said, oh, I got to find you to let you back in. Yeah, I had to unblock you. I was like, no, Kiara's fine. Trump admires us. Say it again. And I'm going to just say the running joke. Byron. We was doing it like that movie. Byron. Listen. And that shit was on TV this weekend. Like I told y'all. I told you, like, you know how we talked about Sinners on Saturday, right? Like I told you guys before. Sinners, to me, you can look at that movie as a metaphor for America. Okay? Your politicians, they can't get in if you don't let them in. But when you let them in, guess what they do? Tear up shit. They take over the minds, bodies, and spirits of the people that you actually look up to, that you actually trust. And then they send those people to you. And then you let them in. And then they destroy your communities. It's that same shit. You got to have discernment. So many of Americans don't have discernment. So many of Americans don't know the difference between real news and fake news. So many Americans don't know the difference between satire and reality. That it's not hard to trick Americans into doing pretty much anything. Because the lack of education and critical thinking skills is one of the hugest, biggest issues in America. But the problem is rich people don't want you to be smart like that. Because if you're smart like that, I can't take advantage of you. I can't take advantage of you. And I want to be able to take advantage of you and manipulate you. Yeah, I understand about I agree with you about teaching literacy media in school. The funny thing was, when I was in high school and I graduated, I was class of 1993. When I was in my senior year, they were teaching literacy media bias then. We were learning about it then. At least my black teachers were teaching about it so that we would understand what we were looking at when we would look at magazines, when we would watch television, when we would look at movies. I remember my humanities teacher teaching about that shit. Like, yo, you need to pay attention. Showing us different magazine covers and how they present things on magazines, how they present things in movies, in books. Then, my teachers were teaching that in 1992-3. The fact that that isn't just something that's taught, but it's not taught in America because they want to be able to use those things to coach you and coax you into doing things. Go buy that car. Go buy that house you can't afford. Go get that surgery. You know what I'm saying? It's all about exploiting you and taking advantage of you. That's what the whole thing is about. That's what the system is attempting to do. And it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. Yep, Michael, that's exactly what it is. That's what they want us to do. Next time, and listen, I'm going to tell you how to test it. You know how you do, Kazi? By having conversations. I have conversations with my kids all the time, especially about those commercials that you see on television, you know, Zardians, all that silly shit, right? They make it a nice little jingle. You don't even realize you're singing a jingle for something, right? And then they tell you, and then when they want to tell you all the side effects of it, that's very fast. And they could do this and they could do that. And it make you lose your head, make you lose your arms, make you lose your fingers, make you lose your back, make you lose your thought, make you lose your train of thinking. But yes, you want this. Smile. Everybody in the commercial, smile. Y'all don't pay attention to that. Everybody's smiling. Everybody's so fucking happy. But if you listen to the side effects, you're like, why the fuck are these people so fucking happy? One of these people at least has leaking guts. At least one of them. Somebody shouldn't be smiling. If you're going statistics, it's no way everybody taking that can be happy in this commercial. But we got to make it seem like everybody's happy. Right? We're creating a utopia. A utopia. It's the same shit with your news. Your news is designed to scare you. It's a product. You're the product. Get you on there and get you watching shit and get you caught up in this cycle of watching the news, and then they're selling you stuff in between. Every time they take a commercial break, the people are coming to sell you stuff. Just when you watch those commercials, watch them on mute and you do the voiceover yourself. And when you do the voiceover yourself, I'm telling you, it's going to make you look at those commercials differently. Look at this $80,000 car. We know you can't afford it, but don't you want an $80,000 car? You don't want to be left out. All your friends have $80,000 cars. And if you don't buy this car too, you're going to look poor. You won't look like everybody else. You're going to look different. And who wants to be different? Don't you want to be like everybody else? Buy it. Buy it now. Don't worry about if you don't have a way to pay for it. Buy it. Buy it now. That's basically what the commercials are saying. Y'all got to have conversations with your kids. This information that they just said is not true. That is a lie. Let me show you what is true. Y'all got to have those conversations. I have those conversations with my kids consistently. So that they can understand, because they don't always understand. And sometimes they're adults, they don't always ask. So I tell them. Yep. And I'm telling you, during the day is the worst time when you see it. Watch during the day, because that's usually when older people are watching TV. Look at the amount of stuff they always selling them. And they always trying to sell them shit that ain't worth nothing. Coins that ain't worth nothing. Stamps that ain't worth nothing. It's always something it's junk. It's just fucking junk. I used to think that, yeah. But then you had to learn, didn't you? You didn't understand why she didn't, but it wasn't until your mama got older. And it wasn't, I'm sorry, until you got older and you could see it for yourself. That's why sinners, I'm telling you, sinners so quick. I learned so, like, I gotta watch that movie again because it was so much symbolism in that movie. Y'all be so pressed to do kumbaya. Everybody that look like you ain't for you. That's what it showed you too in Sinners. Everybody look like you ain't for you. Sometimes the devil looks like you. Sometimes the people that you think are your ally are your enemy. Your enemy just want to be close. Hey, Indigo, your enemy just want to be close. That's all. They just want a closer seat. Y'all run around, y'all make loud proclamations about what you're doing, bragging, telling your enemies, giving your enemies your strategy and your plans, and you wonder why they keep standing in the way of your progress, because you run your mouth too much. I look at that talking, that's music too. You can draw the good ones, you can draw the bad ones. Yep, like Candace Owens. Can I just say I love that Candace has been sued? Yeah. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But Sinners, the more and more I think about that movie, I'm like, ooh, it has so much symbolism in it. So much symbolism in it. Because a lot of times, again, it goes back to what we said before. America's education system is trash. So many Americans don't have discernment. They don't have critical thinking skills. They don't have media smarts and the ability to understand what they're looking at. And like me, I can listen and watch something on TV and know if it's propaganda. Like, oh, that's just bullshit. That's just straight up propaganda. Nope, off. I'm not letting you feed me that shit and make me think that shit is valid. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not about to even do that. Alex, that's not why education is bad. Education is bad because rich people want you uneducated. And you proved it right in that comment. I got to let you go. And because, see, this is another thing y'all got to stop doing too. Y'all got to stop trying to teach everybody that's in a dark place. Some people in dark places, you got to leave them there. Because much like Sinners, with that music, when you go shining lights, sometimes you showing the bad people how to get out too. Okay? Okay? When you go shining lights, because you call yourself trying to pull good people out of dark spaces, you going to pull bad people out of dark spaces too. And bring them on with you. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Oh, I see those crazy, but see, the Trump commercials popping up on TV is more indoctrination. Hey, dude, good morning. That's more indoctrination. That's more indoctrination. A big push for a blood drive. Yeah, what they need a blood drive for? That's kind of weird. Hey, sweetie, good morning. I wish I could say and listen. You tell it like it is. No problem, not nobody here. Thank you for coming. Check out my podcast. The link is in my bio, the Straight No Chaser podcast. And wanted to let y'all know a new episode came out on Sunday. Because on Sunday, I talked about how they set up your children. You got kids and they're going to be going to college or trade school or whatever. Hey, you need to understand that big, beautiful bill that just passed. Oh, it changed everything, even about student loans and grants. Yeah, so if you want to know how it impacts your baby and your wallet, because it's going to impact your wallet, check it out. Links in my bio. Because again, all of this stuff has happened because people were so caught up in hating somebody else. My grandmother always said, be careful of the grave you dig for somebody else because you just might fall in. America fell in its own damn hole. America fell in its own damn hole. Say it again. Racism is expensive. Hey, Nana Stackhouse. Racism is expensive. And America, you're going to stay on the losing side of things without diversity. That's your seasoning. That's America's seasoning. That's what gives America its extra flavor. I know y'all think it's not that. I know y'all think it's apple pie. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's curry powder. It's sazon. It's asafrita. That's the shit. That's the special seasoning. And that's just the truth. That salt and pepper ain't enough. The salt and pepper ain't enough. It's the onion powder, the garlic powder, the paprika. Say it again. The adobo. It's all these other things, honey. Your special sauce is not salt and fucking pepper. Like what? Wake up. Wake up. Let me tell you something. Do I think in America ever recover? Not in our lifetime. I'm being honest. Not in our lifetimes. Anybody telling you that this is going to change in 1 or 2 elections, they're a fucking liar. This shit that's happening right now is going to take decades to fix. Decades. Because you're talking about, you also have to change your mindset here. Have you heard about all? Okay, let me talk about that, Ace, because I did see that stuff about the all-white town in the Ozark, Arkansas. First of all, let me say this. Some of those people in that video ain't who they pretend to be. Now, I'm going to say that. As a person of color, I tend to be pretty good about recognizing people of color. All them people there wasn't who they pretend to be. That's the first thing. The second thing, it don't even make sense. Again, how are you persecuted when you're the majority in the state you live in? So I want to be clear on that. Teresa, you're asking silly questions that I don't care to answer. That sounds like DEI. You're out. I don't do DEI here. Bye. Bye. If people were required to do 23andMe's, honey, you think that white supremacy in America is crashing out fucking now? Girl, they would shut down 23andMe. It's woke Marxist policies and tests. It's woke tests. This can't be true. The test is woke. Chill. Anything that don't align with the fantasy that they have created for themselves is always going to be something. Okay, so let me go back to this. So this whole town thing, the all-white town that was created. Okay, somebody mentioned, yeah, we already have all-white towns. They're called sundown towns. So I didn't understand the point of doing that. Hey, Wendy, the point of them feeling like they need an all-white town. But I'm going to tell you what I found interesting about it. The most interesting part. They claim all these people. Okay, I'm going to just go all the way back to it. The only people moving to towns like that are mediocre ass white people. The exceptional white people have no desire to move to towns like that. I'm going to say it just like that. Those towns are for the mediocre white folk. The white people who can't make it. And they feel like it's anybody that don't look like them that has stopped them from making it. Exceptional white people are not moving to a place like that. Because they know ain't no money over there. You understand? They know it's no money over there. So they're not going over there. That's going to be the people. I'm going to tell you who's going to go there. The single men who can't get no woman. The single white guys who can't get a woman. They'll go there. The women who can't get a man. They'll go there. Insecure people going to go. It's going to be the ones that it's not like the pick of the litter. You understand? It's all the runts. You get where I'm coming from? Yeah, that will increase, which will increase a lot of other issues. I'm just telling you, when I looked at it, to me, it looked like that's how cults get started. That's how it looked to me. That's how it looked to me. Yep. Yeah, look, living life, we hit it both at the same time. That's how it looked to me. Yep, they want to be a big fish in a little pond. But people who act like that tells me they're incapable of dealing with life. If they're not in the forefront, if they're not in the front, they crash out. It's like, why you got to be a big fish in a little pond for you to feel like somebody? Because you're insecure. Because you're mediocre as fuck. You understand? Because you understand that in the world, you're going to go into all these different types of bodies of water. Some are going to be big and some are going to be small. Sometimes you're going to be a big fish in a little pond. Sometimes you're going to be a little fish in a big pond. Sometimes you're just going to be a medium-sized fish in a medium-sized pond. You know what I mean? It's nothing major. Some people can't handle that. Their entire identity is in people looking up to them, worshiping them, needing them. And even though they don't bring nothing to the table, that is their identity. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. And so unfortunately, a lot of people do that stuff. No, I don't agree with it. No, I don't think it's cool. But at the same time, that's how it all gets started. So I'm not surprised at seeing it. When I saw it, I was like, they can have it. That place looks like it smells funny. I'm good. I'm good. Because no disrespect, they don't look like they cooking. You understand? It's not like the food was looking, they didn't even look like the food was going to be any good. You understand? I'm looking like, okay, these women don't look like they can cook. Because no disrespect, it's some white women down in the South that can cook. You understand me? But they didn't look like it. They didn't look like they was the ones that was going to be cooking it up or nothing. It just looked like this was a place for people to go who felt like they had nowhere else to go. And I don't really want to be with people that feel like they ain't got nowhere else to go. Because then I feel like the quality of the people that's probably going to be there, yeah. You know what I mean? We're not talking quality people. So for me, I look at it and go, you know what I did think when I saw it? I wonder what it feels like to have comfort in knowing you can go someplace and set up a compound and another group of people are not going to come and destroy it just because they don't like how you look. That, honestly, that's what I thought. Because see, black people, we already done tried that. We already done tried that. And every time we try to separate ourselves, as long as we suffering, they don't really want to mess with you. But if you look like you're prosperous, you have some prosperity, oh, they gonna come and tear that up. Black Wall Street, anyone. So that's why I say, I don't know. I look at all this and I go, none of anything that's happening here surprises me anymore. None of it. All of it's par for the course. I found this one earlier and I was like, honey, I'm counting down to see when they're going to offer her a pardon, when she's going to get a pardon. Because again, I keep saying, why is the Trump administration talking to Ghislaine Maxwell? You're saying, was that a documentary? Which thing, storyteller? And you're right. Some of them will still feel disadvantaged, even in their privilege. But that's that mindset of, I'm supposed to have everything. I'm supposed to have everything. No, you're not. Like, the fuck? No, it wasn't a documentary. It was a news story. Some news agency was interviewing them. Because, the media, they love shit like that. They love shit like that. But see, there are black communities like that too, but they ain't letting the media in because they smart. They ain't letting the media in. They gatekeeping their ass off. And if they want to stay safe, they better gatekeep. That's the thing. Black people with communities like that, they ain't letting the media in. They don't want no stories written up. They don't want to let no cameras in, and I don't blame them. Nope, keep all them people out if you want to keep your community. Honestly, I wouldn't even call the Maxwell thing witness tampering because she wasn't a witness. She was an accomplice. I've seen it in other... No, my sound's not echoing. Is you guys the sound echoing? Yeah, it's not echoing for me. I'm trying to turn a piece off. It won't let me do that. I don't know what that is. You might have to restart your TikTok, because TikTok be acting funny. I know lately when I would record a video and I go to make edits, if I edit the beginning of the video, it throws off the sound for the rest of the video. I don't know what's up with that with TikTok lately. TikTok been a little funny. And as I told you guys, you're slowly going to start to see me, like, I'll be still doing lives here on TikTok, but then after a while, I migrate off and say, if you want to see the rest of the unfiltered live, you got to come over to Patreon. Because TikTok is getting a little funny with their rules, how they do things. And so in order for us to have real conversations, sometimes you have to have those real conversations in other environments. Because y'all got to understand, a lot of these companies now, especially media related, they're going to do everything they can to keep the government happy. Everything they can to do the government, to make the government happy. Wow, until your options a way to share. Wow, I'm not surprised. Yeah, TikTok. Yep, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. That's why I'm moving more slowly, been more and more of my stuff on Patreon. Yeah, I don't mind using TikTok for marketing, but outside of that, that's it. Outside of that, that's it. Because it's getting to a point, I'm like, well, what is the point of me being here if I now granted, I know on no platform you could say any and everything you want, right? And I get that. But to me, they're crossing even more lines beyond that. Like, you just can't have, but it's because they don't want the smoke of the administration. But I understand where these companies are coming from to some degree, because you talk about money, right? What do I tell you? Rich people care about money more than they care about anything. And they're going to throw each and every one of us under the bus for money. Just so y'all know. So you can never be surprised. The government's not talking to the victims because they don't care about them. And this is another reason, y'all. The statute of limitations has already passed. Talking to the victims, even if they got new information, the government can't prosecute for that stuff. So they're not talking to Ghislaine Maxwell to get more information, to possibly see if there's more that they could do. That's not why. They're talking to her to cover up for the president and for his rich friends and any other rich people that were a part of that shit. That's why. That's why. This is not an attempt to protect children, protect our most vulnerable. No. This is all about protecting rich people, because this thing that Jeffrey Epstein was doing was spanning the globe. I don't think for one second that it was something that was just in America. It was something that was all around the globe. But see, Alex, when MAGA still screams that, it's just a distraction. Those are bot accounts screaming that. A lot of the other like real MAGA people, they want the files too. They want the files too. They do. Now, they do agree though. Now I'll say they want the files, but those same MAGA people agree with what Trump is doing to immigrants and how they're treating immigrants. They agree with that shit. See, understand, they still deplorable ass people because they still agree with the way that immigrants are being treated, while at the same time they want the Epstein file. That's why I say people shouldn't think for 1 second that means that if the election happened tomorrow, they wouldn't vote for Trump. Fuck yeah, these people would still vote for Trump. They lie and say they want their liars. Of course they would still vote for him. Oh, he had a ranch in New Mexico. No surprise. This stuff spans the globe. And the amount of money involved in it spans the globe. And it's too much money and too much power. In order to bring it down, you literally have to have people on the outside to take it down. Because anybody that's closely affiliated is going to work hard to protect it. Do I think they will have a midterm election? I think we will have midterms. That I don't know if they're not going to be fixed. Because Republicans are working hard. Regular elected Republicans are working hard to make sure that liberals never hold any majorities anymore. They're following their lead from President Trump. If he can do it, why can't I do it? And see, y'all need to understand this too. This is the other thing y'all got to understand. Like that post I had put up the other day about how your children, they've taken the ability for your children to get educated, and it's going to mess with your money too. You know what I'm saying? It's going to mess with your money too. And people saying, oh, you can go work for a company and they're going to give you tuition money and send you to college. Riddle me this, Batman. Why would a company give you money to go to college if the government won't even give its own employees money to go to college? Why would your company do that? Why would they do that for you? Because they're not. See, companies follow the lead of government. And if government don't see no value, if government don't invest in its people, why would the company you work for invest in you? That's great that your company does, Nerd Alert, but I'm telling you, over time, this shit going to change. Again, because the government not doing it. Because the government's not doing it. The government is not asking for its best and brightest. So companies don't need best and brightest. And they don't need to invest in you. And if I'm not paying to send you to college, then I can lower the amount that I pay in salaries, see? It's all interconnected. Yep, exactly, Alex. Because the government don't believe in DEI, companies rolling back DEI. And y'all need to understand, especially white women, the rolling back of DEI in these companies is going to set y'all back more than it sets back anybody. Rolling back DEI in companies is designed to oppress white women. Just so you know, I'm making it clear to you what it's there for. Because I don't know any person of color, any black person that's ever been hired under a DEI program. Or even worked in a DEI program. We don't get jobs through DEI. Pay attention to that shit. It's designed. They want you back at home, pregnant, having fucking babies. That's what it's about. They want your ass back at home. And since you won't go home, they gonna force you back at home. Take your job. I'm just trying to show you what it is. They want white women having babies. They don't really care about nobody else having babies. But see, white women ain't fit to have babies right now because why? Why would they want to in this economy? Why would they want to in this economy? They looking at everything the way we looking at everything. But for some strange reason, racism thinks that white women supposed to look at it different. No. White women who aren't racist ain't looking at it like that. They going, why would I bring a baby into this? Why would I do that? The men aren't desirable. America's not desirable. And I can't even control my own damn body depending on what country, what state I live in. Why the hell would I have a baby? And then on top of that, ain't no education system anymore. They fucking that up. Why would I have a baby again? Just so rich people can have somebody to put to fuck to work? Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Only a fool is having a baby in this economy. Only fools. I'm sorry. Only fools. This ain't no environment to bring no babies into. Or listen, if you have a baby, it is what it is. But you better have a community. Don't depend on no government. Have a community around you. You better have family. Because if you ain't got family when you having babies, it's going to be a problem. Yep. See Sanopa? Sanopa's like she has a granddaughter coming, but they got a family. They have a network where they can work with each other. If y'all ain't got no family, don't be having no babies. I remember when we had our first kid, my grandmother did the daycare out of her home for the family because she didn't believe in daycare for kids because she worked in daycares. So she kind of knew what it was. I saw y'all. Yeah, y'all rolled deep, Sanopa. Listen, y'all rolled deep like my niece and her family. They rose deep, okay? And I love that for my niece and for her mother because they have a support system. Hey, Shimonia. Ain't nothing like a support system. But I'm telling you, if you don't have a support system, y'all better not be having no babies. And look, and then Sanopa said they got another house. They got a house in Mexico. I know that's right, honey. My niece and her family, they're going to visit family in El Salvador for like 3 or 4 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. And what I love is they going as a whole family, like 30, 40 of them going to visit as a, ain't nothing like family. Ain't nothing like family. You said the owner of the daycare drives a Rolls Royce. Yeah, they can afford to. What they charging for daycare now, shit, they got me looking at kids like, man, I might go and open up a daycare. And I don't even like other people's kids like that. Like what? They caked up out here. You understand? They are caked up out here. They see you in the streets now, they say, what she do? She pushing weight? Nah. She keep kids. Damn. Well, she gonna help with that. I remember when we had our first kid, my grandmother was keeping kids. She only kept kids for the family. We paid $60 a week. That's all we paid. That's all we paid. $60 a week. So I couldn't understand the struggle that other people had because that wasn't my struggle. We had family. It wasn't until my grandmother broke her hip and couldn't keep children anymore that wasn't an option. And then I had to go out into that soiled world of finding care. Which is either it's hard to find people you trust or it's hard to find people that you can afford because it's expensive out there in that daycare wasteland. That's why I'm like, yo, if you ain't got no family, don't be having no babies. Yep, 175 about 10 years ago. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep, she was just buying snacks for the kids with the $60. She didn't care about the money. The money, her thing was, I know they're safe. Like when 9/11 happened, our oldest was in daycare at my grandmother's house. So for me, even though it was a crazy moment that happened, I didn't have to rush to get to the daycare center to get my child because my child was with my grandma. And that's what I love for my little niece, my newest niece, because her grandmother keeps her. And it's nothing like being with family. It's just different. It's different. It's not like being And she's there in daycare. She's there with her grandmother, with her cousins. Just like my daughter was with her grandmother, with her cousins. It's why she has a different relationship with her cousins. Because they grew up together. Wow, your vet co was like 80% with it. That's crazy. And it gets to a point where now y'all understand why so many people had in-home daycare, where they started keeping kids because it was cheaper for them to keep kids. But when government started seeing how much money people were making from keeping kids, government regulated that even more. See? So they try to keep you out of that. And they want big business just to run daycare centers so they can indoctrinate your kids from birth. It shouldn't be that way, y'all. It shouldn't be that way. Yep, the in-home daycares are much safer too, I think. I agree. But America acts like daycare is just normal. They act like daycare is just normal. No lies here. The truth is you only had 7 followers, so I booted you. Whoever that was, y'all didn't even see it. It was so fast. But I thank y'all for joining me this morning. Yeah, I'm so glad. When I saw this stuff this morning about FEMA, y'all gonna see some videos come out where I talk about, again, how the government is awarding contracts like crazy for the immigrant stuff. And one of the companies only been in business for 13 fucking days. You love this picture? Isn't it? Down, 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 down. They forgot they were friends. We never forgot. Yep, see, yep, dude. It's so much better when you can have family watch your kids. It really, really is. When you can have family watch your kids, it changes everything. It changes everything. Because my grandmother watched my kids 5 days a week. It was $60 a week. That was it. Just $60. You didn't have no set time that you had to be there. And quiet as kept, you didn't really have a set time to pick them up. We would charge no late fees. We were never charged, Nah. Grandma she wanted to make sure that daycare, keeping the children, was not a burden. She didn't need the money. It wasn't about the money, more so than it was about making sure we had what we needed. I have read reports that Epstein was the one who introduced Trump to Melania, but I don't know if that's true, but I've read reports about it. Yep, in the traditional daycares, they'll try to put you out. If you don't come up with that money, quiet as kept, if you don't come up with that money, they ain't letting you in. They ain't letting your kid in, period. But grandma not gonna do that. You feel me? Grandma gonna say, come on, let that baby in here. It ain't that baby's fault their parents ain't got no money. That's how your grandma act. She won't care. She'll still let the babies in. Because to her, she would rather those babies be with her than you just take them babies anywhere. Oh, Trump met her at a party. Okay, no surprise. No surprise. No surprise. But y'all can't never forget friends. How many of us have them? Friends. The ones we can depend on. Friends. Because that's exactly what that is. But they'll act like they don't know each other. I've never seen them before. I've never seen them before. See, y'all telling me way more about Melania than I want to know. I've already seen, what do they say? Seen her birthday suit. I know more about this first lady than I've ever wanted to know. Chill. We know way more about her than we ever wanted to know about any first lady, honey. Any first lady. That's why MAGA can't say nothing to me about Michelle. Because anytime they say something, I'm like, You really can't say nothing to me. Do you really want me to Google about your lady? Okay, then don't say nothing. Yeah, I know she came on a non-sign visa. Ain't that so fun? And overstayed. And then had an anchor baby when she got married. Yeah, I said it. Because remember, her parents became American citizens during Trump's first term. Remember that. Remember, she brought her parents over and they became citizens during his first term. He could have, but I don't think he did. Honestly, I don't think Epstein ever had anything with Melania. Don't you love it? I love this picture. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It is just so, that's why I love it, because it's hilarity to me. Yep, Trump's own mom was an immigrant. She was certainly an immigrant. But I will be back. I'm going to be back on here online today. Of course, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to spend my days digging. Oh, just want to let y'all know, Trump is saying he set a new deadline of 10 or 12 days for Putin to agree to reach a Ukraine deal. You know, Putin looking at him like, not listening to that shit. Putin ain't listening to that. He's like, what? He's not listening to that. Oh, and here's something else. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, found a little bit of a backbone, says that he's pushing back a little bit on Trump's pardon talk. It doesn't matter what he's pushing back on. Ain't shit he can do about it. Mike Johnson has opposed discussions about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell because he knows if he does, Republicans they're not happy about the possibility that Trump could pardon her. Now that they all kind of agree on, I'm seeing in the MAGA circles. So that's a deal breaker. Oh, thank you all so much for the 100,000 likes. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do appreciate it. I'm reading this. Mike Johnson says it raises ethical concerns regarding the... Wait a minute. Hold on. So now the Speaker of the House cares about ethics. Y'all just starved hungry children. Now they care about ethics? And now they're concerned about powers of the pardon. Man, get the fuck out of here. These people are clowns. Republicans are fucking clowns. Okay? They say a senior administration official revealed. See, remember I told y'all it was rumored, but now it's been confirmed. Revealed that Ghislaine Maxwell was granted limited immunity to provide answers related to the Epstein case. For what? They can't prosecute nothing. They couldn't charge her with nothing new. So what she need limited immunity for? From them making up new charges? Out of nowhere, she would have said something that they didn't like in relation to Trump. They're full of shit. And say it again, Stories Yellow. Mike Johnson and the word ethics in the same sentence. What they say? I've never seen that comedy before. Yeah, she wasn't no victim. But why was she given a limited immunity? Diplomatic immunity. Listen, if you don't say that at least once or twice after watching Lethal Weapon 2, I don't know what to tell you. But Lethal Weapon 2 was on yesterday. That's my favorite part. Diplomatic immunity. And Danny goes like, it's just been revoked. I've seen that movie way too many times. Way too many times. Way too many times. I fucking love Lethal Weapon movies. I can watch all of those movies. That's a good series. I love it. But that second one is one of my favorites. That second one is one of my favorites. Oh man, I love the toilet scene. Oh, I had the house all to myself, and I come in here and I sit down, and here it is. Man, that was the best. I wouldn't be surprised about that with Ghislaine Maxwell, but I would say they wouldn't let her out before that would happen. I'm not sure what's going on, dude. I couldn't tell you. Probably fucking TikTok. Yeah, Lethal Weapon 2. I'm trying to think out. Look, y'all know we sidetracking because we do that here. Out of all of my Lethal Weapons, I'm stuck between 2 and 3 when Lorna shows up. Because I love me when Lorna showed up, and at that point, Riggs had somebody to match his energy. Oh. Listen, I love me some Joe Pesci. But when Lorna showed up, oh, Lorna was right on time. She was his twin. She was time enough for him. But then, I also like the Lethal Weapon. Was it Lethal Weapon 4? Was that the one when they had Chris Rock in it? Oh, that shit was good too. Because it had Jet Li in it. And that thing was good. Them fight scenes was good. Was that Lethal Weapon 4 or was that Lethal Weapon 5? That was 4. 4 was good. Especially when they was doing the cell phone scene. That, I felt like a lot of that was improv a little bit. When he was like, when Chris Rock and Joe Pesci were talking, and he's like, they said I made this call to Afghanistan. Afghanistan? I didn't call nobody from Afghanistan. And even if I did, I wouldn't talk to your Afghan ass for 2 hours, man. And then Joe Pesci starts talking, and then Riggs calls, and he's like, yes, I'm looking for a private detective. I want you to shut the fuck up. Man, that every time I watch that movie to get to that scene. Because the way Mel Gibson is just like, shut the fuck up. Like, enough. That, and when they have Chris Rock in the backseat and Joe Pesci drives up and assumes he's a perp, and Chris Rock goes off on him in that fucking backseat. Listen, I'm sorry. 4 was hilarious too. I'm sorry. Lethal Weapon movies, they were just good movies. But that diplomatic immunity, I had to say it. I'm sorry. But I'm still trying to figure out why this woman would be granted limited immunity when they can't charge her with new crimes anyway. The statute of limitations had already passed. So what is it that she was going to tell them that they really needed that bad? Bullshit. Bullshit. Exactly. She's going to do them a favor. But Mike Johnson saying that, shut up, Mike Johnson, because even when Trump pardons her, which I believe he will, Congress ain't going to do shit because they're scared of him. They ain't going to do nothing. Because apparently a pardon can even be used for corrupt purposes. There is no limitations on a pardon. But remember, they told y'all Trump was the president of law and order. That's when I just saw that, I'm like, And the Trump administration has released $6 billion in school grants after freeze. Look, I was reading something in case y'all thought I was on my Mitch McConnell. Or Kennedy. That Kennedy dude from Alabama. Is he from Georgia? I think he's from Alabama. He did that shit too. I know you looked at the screen. Now, I was reading something. I'm on my Mitch. You know how hard it is not to blink without making my eyes burn? Listen. No, I was reading something and trying to see if I've read what I thought I saw. That was all. I was looking at something. And then I'm going to talk about something, but I can't talk about it on TikTok because I already know TikTok gonna strike me. So I'm not going to talk about it here, but I'll talk about it on my Patreon about what's going on over between Israel and Palestine. Because you can't talk about that stuff on TikTok. TikTok don't like that. TikTok don't like that. What they say. And Trump wants another judge confirmed before the Senate takes their summer break. Now, if any Democrats help confirm a judge, their ass need to go. Don't confirm nothing. Don't confirm nothing. It's so cute to watch them crash out. They come in all out. Democrats could have released the files. Listen, I'm going to say this as I'm wrapping up this morning. You're going to see a lot of Republican talking points saying Democrats should have released the files. Trump is there now. Why doesn't he? Y'all go live in the past or live in the present? Don't you want your president to release the files? Release them. No, I haven't seen the black guy held by Israel. I haven't seen that. Yeah, they talk, everything is what about. Up until, you're going to notice something, dude. They're always what about up until you get to the what about, and then they move the line again. I'm telling you, it's all bullshit. Because they're going to move the line again. They always move the line. That's what they do. I see you say, trust me, bro. I go, don't tase me, bro. I know y'all remember that. I remember that dude. That shit was hilarious. He got himself tased for nothing. Who does that? Who goes to get themselves tased for nothing? Yep, Fox News tells them what to think. Fox News tells them what to think. Because, again, my thing is this. Conservatives always talk about how they're not sheep, but they're always told what to think. They're always told what to think. They follow marching orders. Oh, well, we know he can't release the files because his name all up and through him. Hell, and if they did, look, I showed y'all what the files would look like. What did it? I showed y'all this the other day. I think I showed you this yesterday. Hold on, let me find it. Here they go. See? That's what it would look like if he released the list. And apparently they're talking about how bad it is down. I know some of you are in Florida. And they're talking about how bad it's in Louisiana actually. How bad it is in Louisiana to get flood insurance. It's like nearby impossible to get fucking flood insurance in Louisiana. And how these new companies are showing up. They're small, but it's still not able to fill in the holes. Can I say? So I don't care. That's the state of Louisiana. That's the leadership y'all vote for. They're talking about how these people are being talked in to go to these smaller insurance companies because they can't get coverage because they're going to flood out. And companies don't want to pay for that. So this lady says she was happy with this company called Lighthouse Excalibur Insurance. It's a small Louisiana insurer with an A rating for financial stability. And they were willing to write a policy on her 3-bedroom house in town. The broker told her that they were a good insurance company with a good rating, so she went with them. But then when she needed to get paid out, they ain't want to pay her out. That was the problem. And climate disasters are driving many big nationwide insurers out of risky markets like Louisiana and Florida and elsewhere. And companies such as Lighthouse have stepped in to fill the gap. This company Lighthouse is owned through this other place called Demotech, Demotech is the tiny rating company that's rating them and gave them an A rating, right? Says they're exceptional. But Demotech's rosy outlook doesn't always pan out. Insurers it rated were 30 times as likely to become insolvent as those graded by main rivals. So basically bullshit ass insurance companies. Folks are now they're getting ratings. Bullshit ass insurance companies are getting rated by a bullshit ass rater. And then people are getting talked into letting those insurance companies insure their home. And then when shit happens, they don't get paid out anyway. They lose their house, lost all the money they paid in. Now it says that the Florida citizens, those of you who live in Florida, you need to listen to this. Florida Citizens Property Insurance, created by Florida's legislature in 2002 for homeowners who can't get coverage elsewhere. They have moved more than 200,000 policies this year from its books to 10 small insurers with A ratings from Demotech. Y'all better pay attention, beloved. Y'all better pay attention. Because honey, it's all fun and games up until you're going to need to lean on that insurance. And 9 times out of 10, these small companies are not going to be able to pay. And if they do pay, it ain't going to be enough to help you. Whoa. See, they're trying to say, oh, it helps people. Yeah, up until but when they go out of business, it don't help you. If the company's going to go insolvent, that means they have no money. So an insurance company with no money is a worthless ass insurance company, is it not? Or maybe did I misunderstand something? Oh, I'm not surprised. See, a lot of that's too Canadians. When Trump pissed off Canadians, they put their summer homes up for sale. They said, fuck America. They're not coming back here. They said in Florida and Louisiana, 15 property and casualty insurers collapsed from 2021 through 2023 due to hurricanes and high costs related to lawsuits filed by homeowners over claims. All but one have been reviewed by Demotech. So this same company that Florida's letting come in and insure all those people, the bulk of those damn insurance companies went out of business. Wow. Florida, wake up, y'all. I'm going to do some videos on this because nobody's talking about this. And this is a disaster waiting to happen too. This is a disaster waiting to happen too. More people should be talking about this. This is not good. This is not fucking good. This is not good. So I'll keep digging into this today. Find out more on this. I thank you guys. Look, we got over 130,000 likes because I want to dig into finding out more about this. Especially since people are going to put themselves in situations thinking they got insurance and then something happened and go to depend on that insurance and be left with nothing. Essentially nothing. They're going to lose everything. That's crazy. Because they're talking about like Lighthouse, right? They're saying Hurricane Ida barreled into southern Louisiana in 2021. Lighthouse went out of business after 16,000 of its 30,000 customers in the state put in claims. And some people are still waiting 3.5 years later for money to pay for repairs for their home. And some people lost everything. Wow. Yeah, Florida been on the decline for a long time. And this insurance crisis ain't going to help. So I'll talk about this today too. But I thank you all so much for joining me. I thank you for the likes. I thank you for the shares. You know I love you, and thank you for listening. Thank you for all the gifts. I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. And I know I probably missed some that were in here because I kept going this morning. But I wanted to research this. I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. Number 1, beautiful purple unicorn. Thank you, beautiful. Number 2, handsome Rush Nelson. Number 3, beautiful storyteller. Number 4, beautiful Stacy. Number 5, beautiful Trail. And a special shout out to number 6, beautiful Sea of Emeralds. Thank you all for joining me so much. I'll be back on here 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back here to join you today. So don't forget, I'll check you out then. Check out the Straight No Chaser podcast. Links and stuff in my bio. All the stuff is on either YouTube, Spotify, or Patreon. I saw y'all been enjoying watching that Sinners discussion where we talked about it. I have it over on YouTube, so check it out for anybody who missed the movie discussion Saturday night where we discussed Sinners in detail. So if you've seen it and you want to be a part of a discussion, we had a great discussion on that. So go check it out. I love you guys. I'll see you this afternoon. Have a great day, and I'm going to tell you like I always tell you. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head. Don't feed the trolls, and you can accomplish anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Oh, we got over 140,000 likes. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day, everybody. I'll see you later. I love you guys. Peace.